It's Monday. You know, you're supposed to wake up on Monday. You're supposed to wake up, get out of bed, go do the things you're supposed to do. How come I don't hear anything? Come on, Robin. How you doing?
Good. Good morning, Larry. How are you?
Yeah, everything's different when I come in on Monday.
I know.
It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. It is January 12th, 2015. I have a new green button over to my left over here.
Oh, I see.
A big green button.
Yeah.
Big green button.
Do you know what it does?
Yeah.
Where is it? Is there a picture
I know what
somewhere?
it does. I know what it does.
Yeah.
It's a secret. It's a secret button. If you come in here, don't push it.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And be aware that I might push. No, it just opens the door.
But really, James, should we see if it works? Should I go stand by the door?
No, don't worry about it. I'm sure somebody tested it all right.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, and got a good show planned for today. I think what I want to do at 7:35 is, I know you know the news about the French rally. I know you know the news about the movement to stand united against terrorists. So I just want to talk about it. I want to ask you, what do you think the message is? What do you think the message is? And I'm sure that most of the world is saying the same message, but do you think the people who need to hear the message are hearing it? And it's kind of a big, broad idea this morning as far as the topic for 7:35. But I wanted to talk about it a little bit, and you'll kind of see why, I guess, when we get there. News Bites today at 8:35. That is one of the News Bites. It's one of many, and we take the news from around the world, around the nation, around the state, and around town, and we deliver it bite-sized. We abbreviate it. We shorten it.
Yes.
A lot of people tune into that segment just for that, and I know that sometimes we goof off. Very rarely.
Yeah.
Like on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Day.
But pretty much we refrain from our commentary and simply deliver the news during those 25 minutes. Bern Paresa will be in the studio at 9 to 5. She is our beautiful friend, and she is a medical reporter for GFA, which is Good for All Marketing, and she comes in to tell us about the different health services available in our community, the different things you might want to consider doing so you can prevent yourself from getting sick. Dr. Pepper is coming on at 9:20.
Yes, she is.
Dr. Pepper.
I love Dr. Pepper.
You know that this woman gets picked on or has fun. People have fun with her name. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. Her name's Dr. Pepper O'Neill. She's written a book called Dead Men Don't.
Yep.
We'll find out what that is.
Dead Men Don't.
Dead Men Don't. Don't. You feel like there should be more. Don't what?
Right. It's about black ops, though. So this is a good
Black ops. I never knew what that meant. 9:35 this morning. I want to talk about the Diary of Anne Frank.
Nice.
You and I have been kind of looking at it again after many years. I think how do I say this? Studied is probably not an accurate statement from my school days. I'm sure we went over the Diary of Anne Frank when I was a kid in school. And then I studied it more, 20 or 30, no, not 30, 20 years ago maybe. I don't remember why, but we were involved in something. There was a play at the college,
yes.
I think, the Diary of Anne Frank.
It was a whole, it was an entire exhibit. There was a traveling exhibit from the Holocaust Museum itself.
That's right.
So it was a whole week-long event of different things every day, which we were privileged to be a part of. Thank you, Carol and Michael Balbus.
So now if you can see a connection between what's happening in the world and the Diary of Anne Frank, then you probably get where I'm going with the French rally discussion in about 10 minutes. So Matt Gibbs will be here at 10:05. He is our mechanic, and he comes in here to talk about cars and everything else under the sun, because I drag him down those other roads. Matt is the owner of Sunrise Automotive, which is a garage where they repair cars. He also has a car lot right there on the same property. It's called Crossroad Auto Sales. And Matt can sell you a refurbished car, a used car.
Yeah, if you want to buy a car, buy it from Matt.
But he checks it over, gives it his seal of approval, and yes, he stands behind it. 10:35, kind of a fun topic. We all say that vices are no good for you. I have some vices that are actually good for you.
Wow.
Some habits, some I don't know if you call them addictions, but things you can do that you might say, oh, that's a vice. Yeah, but it's a good one. There's some healthy vices out there. Evelyn Eileen Smith is coming on. She her pen name is E. Smith. She just uses her initials. which is also what dolphins say. E.
They sure do.
Her book is called
Merlina.
Boarding House Stew. It's a novel based on her own story during World War II. So again, a connection to the Anne Frank discussion. On Fun with Joe. I haven't done this one, and I meant to do it, but it's only the 12th day of the year, so I can still say Happy New Year. So I have a Happy New Year game to play with you and Joe.
Oh, nice.
I will ask you 3 questions.
Uh-huh.
And each of those questions, the first of the 3, I should say, has the word happy in it. The second of the 3 has the word new in it. And the third of the 3 has the word year in it.
Okay.
Once we get through those 3, I'll do it again. And I'll do it again. And I'll do it again. So it's the Happy New Year game. And you already have your clues. You already know that the word happy is in the first. And you got it.
Yeah, we got it.
When Galen Unol is on the phone from Life South, unless there's something else that we change our mind and talk about, I want to talk about the addictions of the rich and famous.
Okay.
Things that the rich and famous are addicted to.
Nice.
They may not be so bad in some cases, but it's kind of a fun topic, so we'll do that when Galen is on the phone.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so let's take a quick overview of the news. George Zimmerman was in the news again this weekend. He got arrested. He threw I think he threw the wine bottle at his girlfriend
Oh, gee.
a few weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
But anyway, he was arrested on Friday for some reason. Then he bailed out on $5,000.
He's a troublemaker.
And Ocala police stumbled upon a marijuana grow house. A man's father died. Mm-hmm. And anyway, so when he called police, found that there was a marijuana grow house happening there.
Yeah, at least he called the police to report
Well,
that.
he lost his father, and now he's in trouble for the marijuana plant. So
yeah, but at least he didn't sacrifice,
And speaking of marijuana, did you know this part of this story? I just didn't know this. Maybe I just didn't pay attention. John Morgan, the Orlando attorney, who is the guy we point to when we talk about the vote that we turned down for the most part. I mean,
yes.
And the majority of the people wanted it, but you needed 60% of the people to pass it, so it did not pass. But back in November.
Ridiculous.
But anyway, he wants to put it back on the ballot again in the year 2016. He said he learned a lot of lessons from this past year, and he's cranking up to put it on the ballot in November of not this year, but the year we vote for a president. So lots of people will be at the polls that year.
Good.
That day.
I'm glad.
Anyway, did you know he has a brother named Tim who's a quadriplegic?
No.
Okay. I didn't know this either. Well, Tim, in 1977, was a lifeguard. And somehow he broke his back performing his duties as a lifeguard, and it left him a quadriplegic.
Oh, my God.
So he's got a lot of pain. And this is John Morgan's brother. Mm-hmm. And he figured out somehow that smoking marijuana eases the pain. He says, I don't know why it does, but it does. Mm-hmm. And that's the impetus, is that the right word?
Yeah.
What am I looking for here? Behind John Morgan being so adamant about getting this thing passed for medicinal marijuana. He's going to need 700,000 signatures by February 1st of 2016.
Good. Count me in. I'll sign it.
You will sign it, okay.
Yes, I will.
So I couldn't remember how you stood on that one. So anyway, so he's in the news with that one. And then we had a time capsule story again this weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
The Basilica in St. Augustine, they found a time capsule.
Wow, because you had that time capsule story of Samuel Adams like on Tuesday.
Yeah, well, that's a huge. I mean, that's a cool one. That's cooler because that's
way back.
Yeah, that goes back to Paul Revere and John Adams. But this one only goes back 50 years. But still, a time capsule's cool.
Yeah,
makes you want to have a time capsule.
Yeah,
makes you want to find one. We'd bury one right now.
Yeah, we could bury one right now.
Let everybody know where it is, though.
Yeah, right. Tell the kids, in 50 years, your children can dig it up.
You dig this out of the ground.
Yeah.
All right. Elsewhere in the world, Germany's going through a big anti-Islam rally today. So the country that was anti-Jewish, although there were a lot of Jewish people there just 70 years ago or so, now going through anti-Islam. Did you know the security guard at the Charlie Hebdo place was a Muslim? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he died. He died in the attack, and Anyway.
Maybe they were not happy with him.
They weren't happy with anybody.
No. Get rid of him.
All right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. United in the face of terror.
We've been in fear for the last 3 days, and we want to show now that we're not afraid.
A major rally in Paris after last week's attacks.
At times it was somber and at times celebratory, an unprecedented mass gathering on the streets of Paris's city center. Some estimates put the crowd size at nearly 4 million people, the largest demonstration in the history of this nation.
Fox's Rick Leventhal. Gas prices take another dive.
Regular grade is now just $2.20. It's fallen 27 cents over 3 weeks.
Industry analyst Trilby Lundberg. And at the Golden Globes,
Boyhood was the big winner with 3 awards in film and in television. Fargo, Transparent, and The Affair took home 2 awards each. Kevin Spacey won for Best Actor in a Dramatic Series for his work in House of Cards. Birdman picked up 2 awards, with Michael Keaton getting Best Actor.
Fox Radio's Michelle Polino. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Baer.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The #1 place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
You asked for it, Ocala. Now you got it from Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. A fabulous all-week-long 20% off sale. Yes, folks, everything that's not already marked down is slashed by 20% this week at Bob Wine's. It's a perfect time to stock up with winter color or get ready for spring. Everything, including annuals, perennials, shrubs, hanging baskets, and, of course, trees, all 20% off this week at Bob Wine's. And better yet, the camellias are blooming. Come stroll through our 5.5-acre, 60-year-old garden. See hundreds of old and new varieties. Remember, Bob Wine's has a camellia show every day from now through April. Come see, come save. 20% off across the board this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. Open daily till 4, Saturdays till 2. Homegrown, locally owned since 1952.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
1370 WOCA.
All right, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock, 64 degrees. Wow, what a difference, huh? 64 degrees.
Yeah.
It was freezing some days earlier, just a couple days ago. So let's take a quick look at the weather. There's a 50% chance of rain for today. Highs near 80 degrees.
Wow.
Lows tonight in the upper 50s, possibly 60 degrees. Pretty much the same thing tomorrow, but a little cooler. Wednesday gets down into the lower 60s, but temperatures at night only in the mid 50s still. And then Thursday it starts to get cool again, mid 60s in the day and mid 40s at night. And that's about as cold as it's going to get. And then Saturday and Sunday looks really, well, let's see, Saturday, partly cloudy Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Lows, high temperature Saturday, 66 degrees, so still another cool day.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost done. January's almost done.
Yeah.
Right? Groundhog Day's almost here.
Yeah.
The whole world looks at the groundhog. I prefer ground beef myself. But
Me too.
I've never had a groundhog sandwich. Have you ever had an actual hamburger actually made out of ham?
I don't think so. I don't
No?
think I've had a pork burger. No.
Do they make that even?
so.
Do they have will they have chopped
I
turkey?
don't know.
You can
Yeah,
you
they
can
have
get turkey meat. That's
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine you could get a
be
pork
very
sandwich.
greasy, wouldn't it? Isn't pork like greasier than?
Yeah.
Never
Well,
mind.
depending on the cut. Hamburger can be really greasy too.
All right, so let's look at a couple things here. I want to talk. Gosh, there's so many. I don't know where to start with this one. More than 40 heads of state locked arms and marched through the streets of Paris yesterday. The United States was not present. Neither the president nor
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden or John Kerry were there.
Yeah, they should have been there.
While President Obama took heat from political foes for failing to attend a historic event that drew major world leaders, he also was criticized by members of the mainstream media. CNN's Jake Tapper said he was disappointed that the president was not there.
Yep.
He said, quote, "I don't mean this as a criticism of the Obama administration, but just as an American, I do wish that we were better represented in this beautiful procession of world leaders." British Prime Minister David Cameron was there, as was German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Thank you.
Yep. They all stood up for the U.S. when we were bombed.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas was on hand. So were Russian Foreign Minister. And it just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Secretary of State John Kerry was at a previously scheduled meeting in India. Obama and Biden both had open schedules, but opted not to go.
Of course.
Attorney General Eric Holder and Homeland Security's Deputy Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas were in Paris for a terrorism summit, but neither appeared at the rally.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's awful.
U.S. Ambassador to France Jane Hartley did attend.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Good morning. In an unrelated topic, but to the one previously spoken about.
Oh, hamburgers. Yes.
Yeah. If you've had a Jimmy Dean sausage patty, you have had groundhog.
Well, there you go. I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Go.
Appreciate that. All right. So the rally. What is the rally? What is the message of the rally? I mean, forget the criticism of the president. Just so that we can talk about this. What is the message of the rally? What do you think?
I think that we're not going to take it anymore. The people aren't going to take it anymore. The people aren't going to wait for the governments to do something about it. We're just going to be ever more vigilant, and then if terrorist attacks come, we're just going to try to hunt them down and get them.
Now, do you think it's anti-Islam in any way? Do you think the rally is anti-Islam?
No.
I don't either.
I think it's against all terrorists, not one particular group.
I think so. That's exactly how I feel about it. Now, we might be in the minority. There might be more people who say, yes, it's anti-Islam. In Germany, now this is just one country over, a massive march by anti-Islam nationalists is planned for today in Germany. and says it'll threaten new religious tensions and potential violence in Europe in the wake of last week's terrorist attacks in Paris by radical Muslims. Germany's justice minister has urged the group called Patriotic Europeans Against the Islamization of the West to cancel its demonstration, but the group vowed to go ahead with a rally that will commemorate the 17 people killed in the Paris attacks. One of those people killed in the Paris attacks was a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
He was the security guard.
I didn't know that till you told me.
His name was Ahmed. Let me find it here. He died defending the right to ridicule his faith. That's what people are saying. He was defending a satirical magazine called the Charlie Weekly, as it's become known as the translation, or Charlie. What was it? Hebdo. Charlie Hebdo is how they say it, or Charlie Hebdo, if you Americanize it. So he was guarding their offices, and I'm sure he was aware that their magazine was making fun of the religion of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Ahmed Merabet, I believe. He was killed as he begged for his life as suspected Islamic fanatics echoes the Je suis Charlie, meaning I am Charlie, demonstrations that have swept the world in the wake of the shocking massacre. So he was defending, he was protecting and supporting the right, even though it was offensive to him. It would be similar to if I took a job as a security guard, being a Christian, and I'm working for a magazine that is printing cartoons that were making fun of Jesus or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't set well with me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my job to protect those people, and as an American, they have a right to print what they want to print.
That's right.
I was curious, and so just humor me for a second here. I am not an expert on Islam at all, but I was just curious if Islamic teachings were in line with the Ten Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I found. I found that 9 of the 10 Commandments are agreed to by the Quran. The one that they don't have in their list is the one about the Sabbath, which is the 4th commandment.
Mm-hmm.
So let me read to you what was written when the question was asked: what does Islam say about the 10 Commandments as they are known in the Holy Bible, the Old Testament of the Holy Bible? The first commandment in the Holy Bible says, "You shall have no other gods before me." That's in Exodus 20, verses 2 and 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Quran, it says, "Your Lord has commanded that you worship none but Him." Well, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's written in the Quran. In the Bible, it says, "You shall not make unto you any graven image. You shall not bow down to them or worship."
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
The idols.
The idols, yes. Okay. That's the second commandment, right? In Exodus 20 again. In the Quran, it says, "Therefore, keep away from the defiling idols." So, There you go. The one that you are curious about is killing, right?
Yeah.
In the third commandment, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." In the Quran, it says, "Make not Allah by your oaths a hindrance to your being righteous." So it's the same kind of thing, except they use the name Allah. In the Bible, it says, "Honor your father and mother." In the Quran, it says, "Your Lord has decreed that you show kindness to your parents."
Mm-hmm.
Here's the one about "You shall not kill." This is the one that the terrorists who say they're following their Bible, the Quran, need to hear. In the Bible, it says, "You shall not kill." In the Quran, it says, "And kill not one another." Period.
Mm-hmm.
And kill not one another.
There you go. There you go.
The whole thing about the what do they call that garment that the ladies wear where they can hardly see anything but
the
their
burqa.
burqa? The Bible says, "You shall not commit adultery."
Mm-hmm.
And in the Quran it says, "Tell the believing men to lower their gaze and guard their private parts, and tell the believing women to lower their gaze and guard their private parts." That's what it says.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the basis for the clothing, right?
Yes.
And the Bible says you shall not steal, and the Quran says they shall not steal, meaning the believers. And the Bible says you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, meaning don't lie. In the Quran says you shall shun false testimony. Same thing.
Yeah.
And then finally in the Bible it says you shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife or his manservant, and it goes on and on, things you shouldn't covet. And the Quran says, do not desire the things which Allah has given to some of you in preference to others.
There you go.
So the one that they leave out is the one about remembering the Sabbath, for it is holy.
Keep it holy.
Yeah, that's the one they leave out. All right, so I just heard the weather. So let me go to the weather. I want to come back and ask you what you think. I mean, if the message is to stand united and to not be afraid against terrorists, that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. The lessons we've learned about the genocides that we've committed in this world in the past need to be learned by these terrorists. We need to somehow figure out who they are, because I don't know it's easy to figure this out. I don't know if one label defines who they are. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some fog patches this morning, otherwise it'll be mostly cloudy, warm and rather humid today with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm from late morning on, the high 75 to 79. Mostly cloudy and mild tonight with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, mainly early, low 59 to 63. Tomorrow, areas of fog in the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy with a high of 72 to 76. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Kevin Harvick wins the final race of the year and the championship. I'm Joe Moore. This is the Coca-Cola Monday Morning Race Refresher, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Open a Coke and enjoy the race.
What does it mean to add refreshing Coca-Cola to an ordinary day? It means your family's celebrating the 5th of July. It's turning the living room floor into the best seat in the house. Or spending a weekend losing your voice while finding it. It means sitting down with a delicious Coke and interrupting the interruptions. After all, there are 364 other days that would love some fireworks. So grab a nice cold Coke and make any day a holiday. Coca-Cola. Open happiness.
Kevin Harvick was strong when he needed to be at the end of the Ford EcoBoost 400 last night at Homestead Miami Speedway. Kevin won the race and the 2014 Sprint Cup Series Championship.
This week ate me up. If it wasn't for Jimmy Johnson and Tony Stewart, I'd have been in bad trouble this week. You know, those guys really helped me get through the week, and just, today was fine. I was a little bit anxious both days in practice and overdriving the car and not doing things that I needed to be doing. And after every practice, Jimmy was in there. Our team debriefs. Tony was constantly telling me, just go race. It's just another race. And today it was. It all worked out. So just really proud of everybody.
Chase contender Ryan Newman finished second last night. It was Brad Keselowski coming in third, Paul Menard fourth, and Jamie McMurray fifth. Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson, and Jeff Gordon, the rest of the top 10. Harvick got the championship and won it by just 1 point over Ryan Newman. Denny Hamlin, third in the season finale, and Joey Logano finished fourth in the championship. Again, Kevin Harvick wins the 2014 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series title. I'm Joe Moore. That's the Monday Morning Race Refresher, sponsored by Coca-Cola on the Motor Racing Network.
The LPGA Tour will kick off the 2015 season right here in Central Florida at the inaugural Coates Golf Championship presented by R&L Carriers, January 26th to the 31st at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. Kids 12 and under get in free with a ticketed adult, so bring the entire family to see 120 of the world's best female golfers compete on a nationally televised stage. For information and tickets, visit CoatesGolfChampionship.com.
All right, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. The phone lines are open if you want to call in. 622-9622 is the phone number. And we're talking about the rallies in Paris. We're talking about another rally happening today in Germany. In Paris, the rally seems to be saying we stand united. Terrorism is not going to cause us to change our mission to live freedom and to live freely, rather, and to allow people to live in freedom. It seems like that's a really good message. The folks in Germany, however, must have forgotten what happened to the Jewish people when everybody decided that if you're Jewish, you must be bad and therefore killed. And so now they're rallying against anybody who is Muslim. Which, if you are Muslim, this is the statement that is often made, that most Muslims are good people, which of course is true. But there's so many Muslims that the percentage of those that are radical is a large number.
Yes.
It's a very large number. And if you're radical, and that's to the tune of ISIS, if you are radical to the extent that ISIS or ISIL or EIL or whatever they call themselves, whatever, I mean, that's a large number of people.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't mean, it's like saying that any one of us at any of our heritages that participated in any form of genocide, whether it was against the Egyptians, against the Jewish people, against the Native Americans, against black people, against anybody,
against people that have handicaps,
and anybody who decides that this is a group of people who needs to be done away with, as Hitler did. It's the wrong mindset. It is absolutely the wrong mindset. It's the mindset that ISIS wants them to believe, that they're somehow going to terrorize. There was a story about a psychic, and I guess they're giving him credence because of the attacks in France. But he predicted that in 2015 you would see a lot of lone gunmen causing terrorist attacks. Well, that's kind of an easy one to predict.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of an easy one to predict. But listen to here's why it's easy. It's easy to know that some nutcase is going to have a gun and maybe recruit his brother or a couple of his friends, and they're going to do terrible, massive things.
Yeah.
It's easy to see that. It's easy to see that we're going to have criminals in the world. It's easy to see we're going to have murderers in the world. But if that murderer is a white person who is a Christian person, do you say, well, then all white Christians must be bad? No. No, of course not. And we live in a wonderful country here where we have religious freedom, but you also are not allowed to kill each other.
Yeah.
So if your religion teaches you that you can kill each other, well, then your religion isn't welcome here. This is the same argument I had with the whole problem with what was that group, the satanic group that wanted to have their Christmas message on the lawn of the Capitol.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what does your religion teach you? Your satanic religion. What does it teach you? Does it teach you that killing is okay? Well, then we don't want your stuff there. It's against the law.
Yeah.
We have our laws. It's yours is against our laws, so get out of here.
Right.
I don't understand why that's such a hard decision to make, to tell them, no, you can't put your stuff here. You can't put the symbolism that represents your hateful religion on our lawn.
Exactly.
I don't understand why that was such a hard decision to make.
Because they want the money.
Let them
sue. They want their salary. That's all they care about.
Good morning. You're on the air. I do want to hear from our listeners, by the way. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, Larry and Robin, good morning.
Hey,
and,
Mark.
Robin, good morning. And Robin, I'm glad you sound like you're feeling better. I hope you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, Larry, I had a Marine Corps buddy that served at the American Embassy in Paris. After he'd gotten in trouble in Mexico City, they shipped him quickly over there to keep him out of more trouble, apparently. But in any case, the only observations I would make is, and I'm not criticizing your comments, but the gentleman killed that we all saw on CNN or on the news was in fact not a security guard, but in fact a Parisian policeman. And also, just like you said, he was Muslim. I think he actually was born. Maybe he was born in Tunisia, or he also, like the attackers, was born. Well, actually, the attackers were born, I think, in Paris or in France. But in any case, the point is he had much in common with them. But the declaration of him being a policeman is quite profound. And also, I'm not criticizing people that are big on guns, but for the people that are so quick to talk about guns and any kind of discussion about anything political or military, he made a mistake from a tactical standpoint. You would never confront having been a Marine and a cop myself, you would never confront somebody with a rifle unless you absolutely had to out in the open with a pistol. And he paid, unfortunately, with his life. And I would also say that they did get, I think that they did kill a security guard who worked in the office for that Hebdo group or whatever. But if you read the article, which I haven't studied it real closely, they held a gun to a woman's head as she was coming in and punching the code to get into the office. And that's how they get in. They get in there, and they may have killed a civilian security guard there. But I just want to make that declaration. But so I looked it up, and you see on Facebook people making all these bizarre American comments, and that actually most of the people killed in Europe when it comes to terrorism are from the results of what are called separatist movements, not necessarily a racial or a religious base, but more of a you have your Basque separatist in Germany.
Right. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay.
Meinhof. So
okay.
There you go.
Well, but my point, I'm not so sure if you're agreeing or disagreeing with me. But my point is, you can't group everybody together ever. It just blanket statements are always wrong every time.
Sure, yeah. I totally agree with you. Totally agree, Larry. It'd be like saying, and I'm not putting words in your mouth. Just listening to your show this morning, it sounds like Robin is staunchly against the marijuana. And you seem like you may have been ambivalent or maybe even leaning in for it, but not voting for it. I don't know, not putting words there. But you're both considered Christian right-wing Republicans. But I wouldn't lump everybody together, because I think if you look at the minimum wage increases across the country in 7 or 8 states, there were also elections won by the GOP, but people voted to increase their wages, which was a platform that we on the left, us Union Democrats, pushed for. So, right, you can't always assume and make blanket statements that all people are a certain way. But you're exactly right, and I thank you for your honesty. I think that's one reason I continue to listen to your show.
All right, Mark, thank you. Appreciate the call.
And I'm for marijuana, by the way.
Thanks. Anyway, so the messages are. I think the message out of France is a good one. I mean, everybody's saying, we've had enough of this. I don't know how saying we've had enough of it, though, is going to stop it.
Mm-mm.
That's the part I don't know. I don't know how that's going to stop it. 2 days after his death, a video emerged yesterday of one of the Paris gunmen pledging allegiance to ISIS, while his 2 fellow militants have claimed to be from Al-Qaeda. That seeming contradiction, apparently, to those who study this, have raised questions about the connections among the 3 French attackers, whether they acted with the direct involvement or knowledge of the networks, and are they part of a bigger group, and whether their friendship allowed them to put aside those differences.
No, the people have had enough. They've had enough of the government. I mean, Eric Holder announcing that he's going to hold a summit next month. I mean, how come he doesn't do it right now? It's a summit on terrorism. It just boggles my mind. It's right now happening. You shouldn't wait.
Yeah. All right. The phone line is open if you want to call in and discuss this with us at all. 622-9622. And I guess in Germany, I'm not so sure about this whole thing. How come we need to hear? We don't hear whenever we have local people in our community who are Muslim, right?
Yes.
And what I've said from the beginning is that it's easy to say the Muslims are the ones responsible for this. But at the same time, when you say that, you're including the doctor that that happens to be Muslim.
Yes.
You're talking about the young girl that gets off the school bus that has no connection at all with any of this stuff.
Exactly.
That's the problem, and that's why the rally in Germany today is a little bit troubling, simply because it's exactly the same thing as the anti-Jewish sentiment that was happening in the 40s and the 30s.
Yeah.
Except they've changed religions.
And the people we know aren't standing up, aren't coming forward to voice their opinion.
Well, some of them are. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, Larry, it's Mark calling back. Yeah, I was listening to. I'm trying to wash my truck, but as I closed my door, I heard what Robin was saying. I would just make 2 observations from a security standpoint to begin with the president. I think that they're still looking for the female terrorist. So you still have an active security threat in the area. There are many synagogues and Jewish sites and public sites in France which have increased security. There were 80,000 cops involved, 80,000 cops with soldiers, gendarmes, they call that, I guess, brought in to capture the original group. So you basically still have a live a terrorist scene, which
which is why I'm glad. Which is why I'm glad they're standing up against it. Thank Mark. I appreciate your calls. Let me go. I'm up against the clock. Thank you. Appreciate the call. All right, we'll take a break. Be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. They're calling it the largest demonstration ever in France. Sunday's unity rally after last week's terror attacks.
The government says 3.7 million people turned out across the country, but the hunt is on for the widow of one attacker. Turkey says Hayat Boumediene crossed from Turkey into Syria on Thursday, a day after the attacks began.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen. 10,000 security troops have been deployed in France to protect sensitive locations. The House due to take aim at the president's plan protecting illegal immigrants.
The GOP bill would fund the nearly $40 billion Department of Homeland Security while forbidding any of those funds be used to carry out the president's immigration policy. President Obama could veto the measure, leaving funding of critical government agencies in doubt.
Fox Radio's Jared Alpern. A much-needed supply ship has arrived at the International Space Station. The previous supply ship was destroyed in an October launch explosion. Fox News, we report, you decide.